The European Union's foreign policy chief, Josep Borrel, is in Kyiv to reassure Ukraine of Europe's support. It's the first visit by a top EU official to the country since Donald Trump was elected next president of the United States. This comes as European leaders have been digesting the outcome of the poll as Russia's war on Ukraine continues. At a summit of the European political community in Hungary this week, French President Emmanuel Macron told fellow leaders to wake up and face the new reality to protect European interests. Now, France 24's Andrew Hilliar joins me for more on this. Now, there is certainly a lot of uncertainty, particularly regarding US arms support for Ukraine. How is Europe trying to reassure Kyiv?
Well, that is the aim of Josep Borrel's visit to Ukraine, as you mentioned just a short while ago. The EU foreign policy chief arriving in Kyiv. That visit really aimed at showing Ukraine, showing Kyiv that Europe's support is there for the long haul. Borrell said he had a clear message that European support was unwavering. He has admitted that no one really knows exactly what the incoming US administration has planned for Ukraine. His visit also coming off the back of that European Political Community Summit that was held in Budapest on Thursday and Friday, hosted by Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Now, it's no secret that Viktor Orban has been increasingly at odds with other EU leaders over how to handle Ukraine. On Friday, Orban said in a radio interview that Ukraine had already been defeated on the front lines. He said that he welcomed Donald Trump's electoral victory and said that Europe should shift from pushing for war to pushing for peace in Ukraine. Of course, that has been dismissed by Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, who was also at that summit. He said that calls for a ceasefire are dangerous, irresponsible, and would put at risk Ukraine's long-term security.
So Europe is divided on this. Now, Donald Trump has said that he can finish the war in 24 hours. But realistically, what is the incoming administration likely to do?
Well, officially, we don't know what they're going to do. We know that Donald Trump has boasted several times on the campaign trail that he can bring an end to the war in 24 hours, that he can bring an end to the war before Inauguration Day in January. It's no secret, I think, that the prospect of a Trump victory weighed very heavily in Kyiv, because any peacing deal imposed on Ukraine would inevitably involve Ukraine giving up territory to Russia in return for peace. Now, Ukraine will clearly want something in return if that were to happen, some kind of security guarantee. But there have even been some reports that Trump could be open to forcing Ukraine to adopt a kind of neutral stance. Now, that would technically mean that Ukraine would give up its claims to NATO membership. The problem with that is what would then deter Russia from accepting peace and using the intervening time to replenish its army and then attacking sometime in the future again to snatch more Ukrainian territory. So there does need to be some kind of security guarantee, some kind of deterrent. And we do have a precedent for this. The Minsk agreements that were signed in 2014 that put an end to the fighting in the Donbass region of Ukraine. Now, what that, in hindsight, actually allowed Russia to do was to regroup and launch a full-scale invasion in 2022. So at this point, the only security guarantee that Ukraine could accept would appear to be some kind of guarantee of NATO membership, but it's not sure whether or not that will be possible.
Well, Andrew Hilliar, keeping an eye on those developments. Thank you for your insight.